At last, I've managed to get my hands on the FX Wildcat, the Mark II version. Is it as good as they say it is? Well, keep watching and find out. Hello YouTubers and welcome to yet another video. I'm Steve KK Catanonia and today we're doing an air rifle review on the FX Wildcat. And for those out there who have not seen the channel before, we do a lot of air rifle reviews. We do some air pistols, which we're starting to do very soon, and we do technology reviews as well and all the stuff that I like to play with, including camera kits. So if you haven't, subscribe, hit some comments down below, give me the thumbs up, and anyway, let's move on. Now, the FX Wildcat. Now, if I say Impact, then please forgive me. I've got that one on the brain, but this is the FX Wildcat, and it's the Mark II version that we're going to do a review on today. Absolutely sublime, beautifully engineered little rifle, bullpup, of course. And straight off, I'd like to say a massive thank you to one of my subscribers out there, Jeff. He's actually one of my Patreons, so if you're not been a Patreon, please check down below in the video description. There's loads of info down there. He's lent me this along with another rifle, and I hope, Jeff, that you're enjoying my cricket, because I believe you are. It's a nice rifle, isn't it? But anyway, let's get straight onto it. What we got here is obviously the FX Wildcat. Now, the Wildcat has been around for a bit now. It's been in the Mark I version, and in 2018 they brought this version out, which is the Mark II version. The major changes on it, there's a slight difference in some of the lengths of it on the Mark I to Mark II, but they've messed around inside with the breech area to make it more efficient, better use of its power, better regulator system on it, and they've also modded the magazine system on there, because of the original ones had a few slight problems, but they've sorted that out now, and yeah, it's really nice. So like I said, this is the Mark II. Now you can get this rifle in 177, in 2.2 and in 2.5. The 2.5 rifle is a little bit longer, so it's in the 177 and 2.2 they have a 500mm barrel on there, and they have a 230cc cylinder, whereas the 2.5 version of the Wildcat actually has a slightly longer barrel of 600mm, and it has a 300cc barrel on it, obviously for the bigger caliper, just to make up for it all on there. But the actual overall length of the rifle itself, you know, we're looking at the length, and again, I'll leave specs around like I usually do, but we're looking at a length of 760mm for the 177-22, and that goes up to 890mm length for the 2.5. But as you can tell, it is a beautiful, and we'll bring it across to this camera here so we can have a look. It is your classic bullpup, and this rifle by FX has got an absolute beautiful finish on it, and these things are, by all accounts, flying off the shelves. It's probably one of the most popular bullpups out there, and hopefully I'll give you the reasons why, and as usual I'll give you the good and the bad points about it. But as we can see, it is a bullpup rifle. Now, unlike a lot of bullpups where they originally started coming out with the cocking mechanism up the top here, this has now got the cocking mechanism in the classic bullpup place down here, nice and easy to cock it and to load the rifle up. And it's quite sublime. Literally, you just pull back like so. It's magazine felt. It's a PCP, so we have the air cylinder underneath. We cycle the magazine. This rifle is empty, there's no magazine or pellets in it, and then you fire it off on a nice two-stage trigger. Quite simple, cycle and fire away. So, as we usually do, let's walk through the actual rifle itself and go through the major parts of it. So, on the back here we have a non-adjustable buttstock. quite simple, a little bit of rubber on there. It fits really nice, it shoulders up quite well, and you get yourself in some nice eye relief, perfectly all set up on that. We got a synthetic stock on this one, and it's got thumb hole cut out, so it's really nice in this. Number one, it reduces the weight as well of the rifle, but you got a nice sort of like grip here, so this area, this cutout here helps with that. And this one here is actually very handy for walking around and carrying it as well as reducing weight. But the stock on this one is a synthetic black stock, and it's quite nice actually. The whole of the finish quality on the rifle is very nice in black. They've even, on all of the anodized part, they've got their special non-fingerprint sort of surface coating on there. Sort of works, but yeah, it's very nice. But the stock, you can get the stock, and again I'll leave some pictures. We can get it in a walnut stock, and you can also get it in a laminate, what they call, I think, black pepper on there. And that does affect the prices. So price is new for these, because you can't really get them second hand yet, because they've only just come out. But price is new. You're looking anywhere from around about the low £1,050 mark, all the way up to £1,400, £1,500, probably equate to dollars, depending on what stock and what caliber you go for with the rifle. But you know, the price is, you know, it's a fairly pricey rifle. You are paying for the best of the best. But anyway, we move around. It is an ambidextrous rifle. I know that the owner of this rifle is a left-hander, and he doesn't have any problem, but you cannot, I don't think by default, change this. You might find someone that'll be able to move the cock into the other side, but it is sort of, it can be shot left-handed. The actual cheek piece here is just made out of plastic. I'm not sure if you can switch that around to the other side for left-handers on there. You might be able to. It's certainly got some nuts on here that you can take out. You might be able to swap, but I'm not going to play around with that. If you know about that, about left-handing with this, please leave some comments down below. Help other people out. At the back here, we have a safety catch that you can just flip on and off, and you can reset that whenever you want. Had a slight problem with the safety catch. Sometimes when you're just moving around, it's easy to actually knock it on and off. Very easy to do that, I found, with it. But anyway, that's where we got the stock side of the rifle then, and then we come up to the top here and we have standard 11mm dovetail mount. We can just about make that out. I'll bring it to the other camera. Just see there, we got the dovetail 11mm mount up there. So, you know, you got plenty of room up here to fit any scope accessories. The magazine itself goes down at the back end of the rifle, just slots in there. And that brings me onto the magazine. I love this type of magazine, and I'll leave some pictures probably around. Let's bring it to this camera and see it. It's just a one piece, quite simple. You slot in your pellets, obviously put them in the right way, you feed them home, and that's it, loading it. None of that silly twisting this bit and twisting that bit and putting it inside plastic with springs and then flipping it all over and then it rattles. None of that. Nice and simple. I love this style of magazine. But the downside is, with all variants of the Wildcat, it's only an 8-shot magazine. Even in 177, you know, at the end of the day, it's not much on there. But to load the magazine, quite simple, is that we pull back on here and then we slot the magazine, and literally it just slots in like so. Push home. And then what you do need to do is give it a little bit of a wiggle. So we'll bring it around to this camera, and you just literally just slightly turn the magazine, and then the cocking mechanism will just simply cycle in there. Obviously this magazine's empty, and then literally you can fire and cycle, and it cycles the magazine at the rear. Nice and pretty. Really, really easy. So let's move across. We've already seen the cocking mechanism on here. You can actually cock the rifle, but you can also hold the cocking mechanism and decock it with the trigger as well. So that's nice to see, along with the safety catch on there as well. Then we got the cylinder we've already talked about. In 17722 is a 230 cylinder, and it has the pressure gauge at the bottom. Again, I hate it when bullpups do this and manufacturers do it. This is not the place to put pressure gauges, not near the pointy end of the rifle. Please, please put it where it's supposed to be, down here. Lots of rifles are still doing it. I wish they'd stop. We've talked about the scope rail across the top on here. Really, really nice. Plenty of room to fit anything you want. It's not Picatinny, so if you do want to put Picatinny on there, you're going to have to do some adjustments, some different attachments on there. Let's move across the rifle. Right, we got the trigger grip. Nice trigger grip. There's little grooves here so that you can get your thumb in there. Absolutely beautiful and nice. Plenty of room up the front to put your hand, rest it however you want it, artillery, or hold it or grip it, whichever way. But there's nothing on here to put any accessories on here. There's no additional Picatinny, so if you do want to put that sort of stuff on there, you're going to have to start drilling the rifle yourself at the bottom here. Let's bring it to this camera so you can see. You'll definitely have to. And again, there's no sling studs on this whatsoever at all. But the one beauty thing about this is it's super, super light. Yeah, we're looking here, without the scope on it, 6.1 pounds. It's nothing, absolutely nothing. Stick a scope on, what you after? 7.5 pound on here? That's absolutely nothing. Anyway, so we talked about the air rifle, the actual cylinder, its air cylinder itself. Now the fill port we'll bring to this camera here. The fill port is literally just a little, you slide this little mechanism round, and there it is, there's the hole. And then you get the fill probe, which is just standard quick fill probe. Your fill probe slots into the hole like so. You fill it up, it's a quick fill. All of the rifles go up to 230 bars recommended, but obviously most people just put them to just past 200 on there. And as for the shot count, well, I got well in excess of 100. When it's an 8-shot magazine, I'm not going to just waste pellets to work out a shot count. And I'm only filling up to 200, not 230. So if any of you guys, please leave a comment down below what rifle you've got, what power rating, is it a Mark 1, 2, what caliber is it, and just tell me, and let other people down below know what the shot count is. But it's well in excess of 100, and I gave up counting after that. Which then takes me down to the really nice part of the rifle, and that is here. And that is the trigger itself. The trigger is absolutely beautiful. It's a full 2-stage trigger, and it is super, super light as well. You can adjust it as much as you like, but let's just show you that. Just pull back, and then the first stage, if I just bring this in, we can see this. First stage, it's so distinct, you can feel it perfectly. And then hardly any extra pressure. I haven't got a pull gauge on it, but it can't be that much at all. It is really, really nice. There's none of this anticipation waiting. No, it just works absolutely beautiful. Which then brings us on to the big part of this rifle. Why do people rave about it so much, and why the Mark II? Well, it's all about the barrel. The barrel itself, like we said, it's a 500mm barrel or a 600 if you're in 2.5. But the barrel itself is basically semi-shrouded, so we can see the shrouding coming up to here. Now, by default, you don't get an aftermarket silencer on it. You can order them with that. This one's got a Hug-It on here. Now, what you get is you get these little you see these little end rings. You can just about make that out there. They're like little additional shrouds on mufflers that you can. It'll come with another one on the end of it there. And what we'll do, and that is realistically, if we look, that is, bring it to this camera, that is the length of the rifle. You can see that. And now you see what I'm talking about having that pressure gauge there. Now, if we fire this off as it is, and we can see that's quite loud. Now, the owner of this rifle's gone for the Hug-It option for the silencer on the end of it, and it makes the rifle, I think it just really sets this rifle right off, especially in the black. The Hug-Its are beautiful on here. It also does give you an extra length to the rifle, which I think makes it look much nicer as well. But more importantly, it makes a hell of a difference to the actual sound coming out of it as well. Now, that of course then leads us on to the barrel. Why are these rifles so popular? Well, with FX, their quality, etc., is that this thing is supposed to be super, super accurate. Now, what the Mark I just had had a basic standard barrels on it, but the Mark IIs now come with FX's smooth twist barrel. So for those that don't know, I'm not going to go too technical into this, but basically the barrel is smooth all the way up until the last little bit, where then there's a twist. And that imparts the twist on the pellet, puts the grooves in the pellet and gives it that spin, and keeps it spinning, gives it super accuracy. And by all accounts, it works very, very well. Well, the Mark II of this rifle comes with the smooth twist barrel on it, so that you can actually use that. That's got that system as default. But it also has the option that you can turn it into, by swapping the barrel out, into FX's new smooth twist X barrel system. And for those that don't know what that is basically it's a barrel with a sleeve in it, where you can actually change the grooving patterns by buying new sleeves inside there. Have a look around, you'll see loads of videos. I might try and find you a video and leave a link down below. But you can actually swap the barrel out of this rifle and put one of the new smooth twist X's into it if you want, which gives you that upgrade capability as well. So if we look around the rest of the rifle, there's not really that much more to it. We've got the barrel up here, we've got the air cylinder at the bottom, we've got the scope rail, this beautiful, beautiful trigger, the nice simple loading mechanism, the forwarding of the actual cocking lever on there. Really, really light. It looks absolutely gorgeous in the synthetic stock black. Really nice. We've just got a cheap, nasty scope thrown on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it outside. We'll do a usual, play a little bit of music like some of you like, some of you don't, and we'll do some shots at 25 meters like we usually do. Try different pellets, non-sorted. Give it a go. See what we think of it. Okay, guys. So we're outside. We've got the FX Wildcat in 2.2. And we're going to do our usual shooting. It's a lovely day, there's a little bit of wind, there's church bells going on, really, really nice day. So we'll give it a go at our usual 25 meters. Now what I'm going to do, since this is only an 8-shot magazine, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do 2 shots of JSB jumbos, and then I'm going to switch to sovereigns and do 2 sets of shots with that. So in all, what we should be getting is 16 shots. The reason I'm using these pellets is because these are the ones that the owner of the rifles actually said it's probably best to use, so I'm not going to mess around with pellet testing. That's not the point of the review. And I'm not going to clean the barrel or anything. I'll just make sure I've got enough pressure, fired a few shots off to let it stabilise, let the regulator work, and then we'll see how we get on. So we've got a camera down range, you know the score, let's cue the music and let's give it a go. Oh, and one other thing, the reason I've got all these pillows here is because I've still yet to get a proper gun rest to make this super accurate. But you know what? Out in the field, you don't do that normally, do you? So let's give it a go and see how we get on. So we'll start off with the jumbos, the JSB jumbos. Magazine in, little wiggle, and push it forward. Right, we'll get ourselves set up before we fully cock that up. Get rid of the glasses. Okay, yeah, not too bad at all. Doing that fairly quickly. Also, I'm not sorting these pellets at all. I'm not weighing them or anything. I'm just basically picked out 16, made sure they're not deformed. So there will be slight weight differences. All those guys that do their normal pellet sorting and weighing, you know exactly what I mean for super accuracy. But these, and again, I've not cleaned the rifle, done anything. All I've done is I've just charged the rifle up to 200 bar, put that 8 shots through to let it stabilise, and then off we go. So let's just give that a bit of a wiggle to make sure that we're there. Yeah, and let's do the JSBs at the bottom targets. Sorry, the sovereigns at the bottom targets. that's the full shooting. Let's go and have a look and see how we've done down range. Okay, so we're back from outside, and yeah, I'm super impressed with this. I like this. You know, here's the shots up here. Now, like I said, these were just 25 meters. I only played with a rifle for half a day, put a couple of 100 pellets through at the most. Up the top here, I think we've got JSBs up here, and then we've got sovereigns at the bottom here. And these are 8 shots at 25 meters with a very, very cheap scope thrown on the top. I'm not used to the rifle, I wasn't taking my time, the pellets were unsorted, all I did was just check that they looked okay, put them in the magazine, and away we went. But I am super, super impressed with them, especially down here. Look at these sovereigns. That is under half the size of a British 1p piece. In fact, you could barely get 2 pellets side by side. They're overlapped, two pellets. They do not fit on there. Yeah, that is a pellet and a half width, that is. Super, super impressed. And you know what? The smooth twist barrel in there definitely is working. I wonder what it's like when you then start putting the smooth twist X barrel in there. But it's living up to with some decent quality pellets. None of these cheap RWS type pellets, but some decent quality pellets. This rifle certainly is accurate, even in somebody's hands like mine, and I've only basically just started playing with it, you know. And I did loads of other groups as well, and I was just as good as that. I even pushed it out to 35 odd meters, and I was getting very, very similar results. In fact, the rifle is out shooting me. Quite simple as that. I love it how it weighs. It's just, oh, it's just beautiful. This is what I like about bullpups. You don't have the weight over the end. It's just nicely central, so much so that you can just feel it pivoting around that point as well. It's really, really nice. But you know, I say it again, it is just stupidly accurate. In fact, it is probably, I'd say it's probably more accurate than my cricket, and I love my cricket, but this thing, yeah, it's just as good. Yeah, absolutely just as good on there. The looks, I think it looks great. Put a Hug-It on it, definitely. Definitely put a Hug-It silencer on the end of it. It really sort of tops the whole rifle off. I think the black looks really nice, but you know, I've left some pictures around of the other stock options. The walnut I'm not keen on, but the pepper black laminate, that looks really, really nice indeed on there. So, because it's regulated as well, you know that those shot counts are just hitting there perfectly all the time. You're getting that flat power curve. So that's another really, really good thing about this rifle I do like about it. The cocking is, it's just sublime, absolutely sublime. I just love it. The trigger as well is just, there's the first stage. It's there's no hassle, there's no drama. It's just first stage, feel it, slight bit more, bang, fully adjustable as well. Absolutely lovely, lovely trigger on it. I love the trigger, how it's fully adjustable. You can change the angles on it, all, absolutely everything you want to do on it. But yep, so what we've done there, yeah, absolutely beautiful, nice. The looks, the accuracy, the weight, fantastic. But there are some bad points. You know, there are some bad points, and these are minor, minor, minor bad points. The first one, price. Yeah. 1,000 to 1,500, depending on what variant you get, is a lot of money. But at the end of the day, you're buying a Ferrari, you expect performance, you're going to get it. And you're certainly going to get the build quality with FX. You know, they've had their struggles in the past, FX, but this is just sublime, beautiful. The quality control on it, it's just, everything just looks absolutely perfect, where it should be. It's smooth, it operates well, there's nothing else going on with it. But the one thing I have noticed with it, and you can't tell it when you're firing it dry, firing it out, but when there's pellets in it, and I've checked it against the Chrono, there's nothing wrong with the rifle. It was grouping perfectly, but when I fired it, it's like this springy, twangy noise by my ear as I shoot it, and it's like as if there's a bag of spanners or bolts in here. Just for half a second you go bang in your ears, twing, sort of spinning, pinging noise in here. And it's sort of like really, really irritated. It was like, it got me that worried that I actually got the Chrono out and checked that it was all okay. And it was, and it was grouping fine. It was just that noise it was making at the back end. It's literally as if somebody just got a spring on. Every time you fight, you just let go and it went boing. Really, really strange noise on that. But well, maybe it's me. I've never played with an FX before. Maybe they're all like that. I don't know. The other thing I'm not keen about this is the magazine. It's 2.2, but I'm so used to magazines now being 12, 14 shots, 8 shots. It's like, oh, I've got to load up again. I'm enjoying myself. Change position, reload the magazine, settle yourself down again. It would just be nice to have. But you know, at the end of the day, this isn't a target rifle. It's not a garden plinker. It's to take out and do a job with this, and it is superb for that because of the weight of it, the compactness of it, and the fact, you know, I'm still here. You know, I've had rifles where I'm going like this and I'm resting them over my shoulder in the videos. No, quite happily like that. It's nice. It's so light, so really, really nice in there. And again, one of the bad things I don't like about the rifle is the actual pressure gauge up the top here. I hate it. It's a personal hate of mine. They should belong down here. Like I said before, it's got no accessory rails, no sling attachments, nothing else is on there as well. So, you know, if you do want to play, you're going to have to do some modifications yourself. But would I recommend this rifle? Well, you know what, overall, absolutely yes, I would. If you've got the money for it, at the end of the day, you've got to be able to pay that money for it. And if you're getting that, then you might even want to go for the Smooth Twist X barrel system, but I think the Smooth Twist barrel system on here, with a Hugget, it just works brilliantly, absolutely brilliantly. So for the money, for the price, if you can afford it and you're after the best of the best in the bullpup world, this is why people are buying these. This is why, you know, they're flying off the shelves, why it's one of the most popular bullpups out there. I can certainly see why, and I'm just feel really, really glad that I've managed to get a chance to actually play with one and have a go with the Wildcat on there. So, as always, if you like these videos, please check the links out. I'll leave them up here for you. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification button as well so that you know when I put another video out. If you've got an FX as well, please let me know whether or not what you think about it. Am I right about this review? Is there bits that I've missed out of it all? What's the shot count like for you? Do you like your FX? What do you think of the Mark 1 versus the Mark 2? I personally think it's really nice, really, really nice rifle, but pricey. But you know, at the end of the day, if you want what you want, you have to pay for it, don't you? So anyway, I've been Catanonia, and hopefully you've loved this video, and I'll catch you on the next video, and see you next time. Bye bye.